How's it, everyone? Wayne Known here, and welcome back to another episode of Geeking Out, where we basically discuss everything nerd and geek related. Once again, I'm doing this on the phone since my computer is getting old, and I think it's time to put it out to pasture, like old Yeller.
Old Yeller did not get put up the pasture. He got shot in a horse stall.
Oh well, I'll take this out to a horse stall and just
exactly. Or no, you need to do like what those guys did in the Office Space.
Oh take it out to the field and just beat.
Just beat it.
I mean, if anyone knows of a field and has a sledgehammer, I'll record the whole thing, destroying my old computer because it's starting to get annoying. Anyway, we are not talking about that. Tonight's topic. Once again, I'm joined by Brian. Believe Brandon's somewhere in spirit.
He's doing his part in the Federation right now.
Oh, no. The Super Troopers. Starship Troopers. Yeah. Speaking of, real quick, Helldivers is finally coming to Xbox. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's fun.
And then I'm joined by one of the twins, Karen.
Yes.
Sam cannot be here with us today, which I'm always understanding on that when people can't make it. Anyway, tonight we are going to be this is going to be a two-parter. We are going to be talking about both live-action suits from the 70s and the 2000 Sam Raimi suit from Spider-Man. Now, to be honest, I'm not fully familiar with both suits from the 70s, just more so the looks. I'm more familiar with the Sam Raimi one, but that's why we have Brian here to help us out. Yeah. And we're basically going to be giving our what we think art, which we're going to be discussing which is our favorite suit, talk about the character, talk about the actor who played him and the time they're from, and also discuss on how something like that could be made in real life compared to how they made it in that universe. Because I'm just saying, with the type of budget that Peter Parker had in the 2000 Spider-Man film, I don't know how he was able to make a suit like that.
Oh, that's one of many issues on that one, but that's okay.
Well, that's what we're going to be talking about. And then part two, we're going to be talking about... We're also going to be talking about the Venom suit, and we're also going to be talking about the Sam Raimi starter suit when he's in a wrestling match. And then part two, where we'll be talking about Andrew Garfield, which is personally my favorite, and then Tom Holland's Spider-Man suits. And if we have time for part two, talk about the upcoming Spider-Man live-action Spider-Man noir with Nicolas Cage. But we'll see. Anyway, starting off, Brian, you're more familiar with the suits from the 70s, the one here in America, and the Japanese one known as Suit Spider-Man. What are your thoughts and what are your thoughts on the suits and yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you call me old because I watched them when they were out. No. Actually, the TV series was on quite a bit when I was a kid. And not like I'm a fan or anything. So, and there's tons more. So, anyhow, the Japanese one I didn't watch till way later. I think it was probably maybe right around when I met the kid's mother. So that would have been the 90s. I mean, I knew of its existence, but never watched it all the way through. And the TV series ones, but the suit when I was a kid, other than the Electric Company, which you didn't mention because that came out around the same time.
Oh yeah, wasn't the original the one here in America by I looked it up briefly. It was distributed by NBC.
Well, it was a PBS show.
Oh.
So, but it was a Marvel official suit. He didn't talk. He just had the little thought bubbles and stuff that came up.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. If you ever look it up, Morgan Freeman was on that show too, and they would do all these different interludes and stuff with Spider-Man on there. And then on top of which, one of the, I'm trying to remember which Comic-Con, there was a guy running around in a suit that one was a little iffy, but who cares? Because at the time, it's still a Spider-Man. So the series suit, which I'm more familiar with having, stuck in my head from as being a kid, looked awesome. You look back on it now, the T-strainer eyes, because that's basically what they look like.
It looks creepy.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about how the big It almost kind of reminds me of Tom Holland's starter suit in No Way
Except
Home.
they're like domed and they're like tea strainers. Yeah, you got. Can you zoom in on that, Karen?
Yeah, can you? Because I can't right now because I'm using gas.
Yeah,
But you can
that's
show the
fine.
audience. I'll show a bigger picture.
Yeah, they were definitely interesting looking.
They look like they kind of remind me of like they kind of remind me of like pool goggles in a sense.
Except they were mesh, metal
Oh they
mesh.
oh okay, I see it
Yeah,
now.
it's mesh.
Which is why it makes it look weird.
And the web shooters. So in the episode where he was developing the web fluid and the shooters and stuff, they were huge, and it had this gigantic rod that came off. Well, of the shooter, it was like this gigantic rod, and then the push button. In the lab, it looked awesome. You know, practically speaking, he'd never be able to bend his wrists. But even in this show, all he did was shoot out a rope, and you know, it was always reverse photography and whatever. But the look of it, you know, if you're going to go from the page to the screen on that one, I'd probably give it a 5 or 6 because it hit more than it missed. But the eyes were always a weird thing. And it's because they had a real dude swinging around between buildings, climbing the walls and stuff. And I think it was a visibility thing. And one of the stuntmen had come back and said that, yeah, that was one of the reasons they wanted to be able, at least be able to see to the sides.
That is a
Oh,
Vulcan
yeah,
web shooter. It looks like an ankle monitor on its
Yeah,
wrist.
Yeah, it does.
it kind of reminds me. It kind of reminds me of Ben Riley's web shooters.
Yeah. Well, some of that they were paying homage back to the origins and stuff in the, you know, because in the original comics it was this tiny little bracelet and he had the little push button and he developed, well, of course, before they really got into the science of it, you know, he has to push it so rapidly to be able to deploy him that no other human can do it as hard and as fast. So, you know, what are you going to do? Technology, you understand, and it didn't have the budget, and even in the movie that the series got turned into, you know, because it was a TV movie, then they made the series and all that.
Oh, they kind of did like what they did with the original Batman series from the '60s. They had the TV show, and then they came out with the movie.
Yeah, but I think it was in reverse with the Spider-Man.
That
I want to
makes
say it was the movie first. It was like Return of the Dragon or Call of the Dragon or something. It's been a while since I watched it. I should know that off the top of my head. It's terrible. But,
so.
you know, they couldn't really do a whole lot of the wall climbing other than certain scenes. And even then, you could totally tell the guy's on a harness. But once again, awesome. And it looked great for the time. Does it hold up today? Maybe not so much. Then, you know, you fast forward, for me anyway, to watching the Spider-Man Japanese. They got a lot of that right. It was interesting to see him put it on because, of course, it was always the same, you know, go Spider-Man, and then the suit would just fall on him.
Oh, kind of like Flash's suit.
Yeah,
just like you
yeah.
see the suit and he would like run.
Yeah, it came out of the wrist thing. Now his web shooters and his utility belt were huge. It was a very Daiya Koruku Ranger inspired. Or Sentai Ranger inspired.
Very super Sentai.
Yeah, and you know how he even got the spider powers because he met that old man dying in the cave, and it was a crystal, and he got the spider magic. And yeah, it wasn't. Oh yeah,
so
that's how he got.
So wait, for the one from the '70s was the American one. Was Peter Parker bit by a radioactive spider?
Oh yeah, that was in the intro and everything. He got bit, and then turned into.
I'll show a clip.
Yeah, so the origins were pretty close. They did pretty much everything. He worked for the Bugle.
Spider magic.
Spider magic.
I mean,
yeah.
it makes sense.
The spider spirit.
Because I know with Japan and how they do their shows, it's a little bit more different than how we do over here. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I know you want to go into like the mysticism and stuff.
It definitely did, and then you know it was all from there. Like you know, there was the big giant robots, and then the vehicles, and you know they really went over the top.
Oh, that's right, because he had the motorcycle too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you should look those up, Karen. The 70s Japanese Spider-Man stuff and show pictures. Yeah.
And
that's another suit that looked really good.
What did you think of the eyes? Like how it's just like the eyes were squinted in a sense.
Well, if you look at a lot of the comics, I don't know if I have a really good example, but I do, but it's hanging up there. You know, that's one of the signature things where they're kind of half closed because he's thinking or something like that. And how do you really emote other than having gigantic eyes that you can close and stuff? So to be able to pull that off, And today's environment's easy. Back then, not so much. So there was nothing mechanical. They were just like that. And we're also talking about Japanese. So not to say that they did that to reflect the culture, but I think it was like a lack of options or anything. And you're going to have someone going to be emoting in the suit, because otherwise it's just this big starry-eyed guy. And that's
even bulkier than the last one.
But see, that looks cool. That see what I mean? That looks awesome.
Played by two different guys, because I was looking a little bit of up how this one didn't go by Peter Parker. I can't remember the name.
I'm drawing,
but I know I'll look it. I'll put it up, like when I do edit this, I'll here's so and so's name. And just like the original, you had Peter Parker, and you had the guy who was ever wearing the suit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm sure they had. I'm not sure it was easy trying to find someone who was the exact same height, because it's not always easy trying to find a stuntman to be the exact same height and build as the.
That's
actor.
always an issue, and usually it's really noticeable. But I would say on that one's looks, it looks a lot better. And granted, like Karen said, it looks like he's got a gigantic ankle monitor on his wrist. That one's even bigger, but it's kind of forgivable because that was how you called the robots, and Spider-Bot, go, and all that kind of stuff and everything. It's awesome. It's Sentai Goruku Dai Ranger stuff to the max. But I do like the way that looks, and I think the eyes kind of help give you that thoughtfulness look and all that.
Yeah, I would agree. I do like the Japanese version.
Yeah,
if you can do
that looks cool.
Yeah, and is that the actor? Is that the actor below him?
Yeah, that's the Japanese version actor.
Yeah, that's not Peter. I think what's it say, Shinji, or is that the actor's name, or is that the character's name?
It's Shinji. To do something.
Yeah. Well, I know at one point
Shinji Toto is his name.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure if that was I'm not sure if that's the actor's name or that's the character's name. It's definitely not Peter Parker, though.
It's been a while. No, and one of the translations I watched had it subtitled as Peter Park, and stuff like that, because they didn't translate very well. Yeah, but I like that suit a lot better. And like I said, for the American limitations, technologically, budget, whatever, which is why the fight scenes were a little iffy, and of course, plot and limitations dictate powers, so they never really went into how strong he actually was, unless it was convenient. The webs were always just a straight line, literally like just a rope, unless it was something they could throw a net over somebody, and that's literally what they did. They just do a net.
It's just your basic white variety rope that you can get at a department store or something. I want to go back.
Kid, what do I care, man? That was fantastic. It was awesome.
One thing I want to go back to. So you said in this one, and the Japanese one, he basically got his suit from a dying man in a cave, right?
Yeah, with this glowing crystal thing and all that. Yeah.
So then the American version, how did he come about his suit? Because we all know on almost every adaptation of Peter Parker, he doesn't have a lot of money. He is a photographer, and he doesn't get paid well, and he's living in New York, which doesn't matter back then or now.
No.
Living on your own, having the funds of a news station, of a news reporter photographer. Your budget's how are you going to come about making that? Because I
want to say they stuck to the origin, and he did make his own suit in the series. Once again, it's been a while since I've watched it, but yeah, the reality is no, you didn't. And the tie-in some of the comics later, where there was that material from the Oscorp that was friction resistant, could stretch almost infinitely, stuff like that, helps lend a lot of credence to it, because not to jump too far ahead, but that's one of the major issues I have with the Raimi stuff, because they're so blatant about it. But whatever. The only thing, back to that American series, is still the eyes, because that's a killer of the look. And you think if he's going to make that, you might have made lenses or put sunglasses or something, but because they were gonzo shooting these stunts, where do you draw accuracy versus functionality. If you're going to have a guy
Oh yeah,
swinging from
because you're gonna want to see and not have the guy hit something because stunts
yeah,
back then were a lot more dangerous.
oh yeah, these guys are literally just climbing up buildings on a rope. So I'm thinking that was a choice made for the functionality, to be able to wear it for what they were doing. I don't know what that one was made out of, but it doesn't look like it was like stretchy stuff like any of mine. So
It's not morph suit.
I don't think so. It doesn't. If you look at some of the pictures, even she had, you see wrinkles and stuff all over the place. So
Yeah,
Kinda
it
like-
does not look very tight.
Kind of
fitting.
like Christopher Reeve's suit in Superman.
yeah, and those were I've seen a few replicas of those, and they were
I mean-
form fitting to him because they were tailored to Chris. But yeah, they weren't the stretchiest things in the world. But yeah, realistically, no, he didn't make that. I mean, if you want to break it down into a real world vibe, because like you said, budgetary for one thing, and then
Mhm.
functionality, and then doing all that stuff everywhere. You tear that shit up once. Okay, where's all the seams and rips and patches and stuff?
Oh, I'm sure in reality, they had like multiple suits on set.
Oh, sure, but I'm talking about like in the series. If
In
you're
the series.
to make one of them, you're gonna rip that hood.
Oh yeah, and like realistic. Like if you were to look at the TV show, like if you were to take from TV show and look at it realistically, like how is someone like his suit's all damaged? How is he able to like? Oh yeah, I just have some needle thread or a sewing machine, just like
Don't show a
or
single.
like or if it gets like muddy and dirty or something because he probably doesn't have a washer and dryer. I'm looking at this as because you're both are into costume making. I wish Alex was on here because he's also a costume maker. I would like to get his perspective on this too. Like from a costume maker's perspective, how would you go about making that original suit? Starting with you, Karen.
You can't say that I would buy it for you because you already did that.
Right? Well, you want something stretchy because that'd be your first.
But like, where would he get the material? Like, where would he get the materials though? In reality, you can like easily go to a fabric store or order the stuff online and then do it that
or
way.
like a lot of thrift stores. If he doesn't have a lot of money or whatever, that's an option. So just a combination of stuff, kind of like what they did in the Spider-Man Homecoming, where it looks like a jacket, some blue pants, and it's kind of all just sewn together. So
That is more, but honestly, that
maybe something like that.
Holland's starter suit is more believable.
Yeah.
And Tobey Maguire's wrestling suit, just the red
Sure.
sweater, blue sweatpants, the shoes, like
Light mask.
construction gloves, and a red balaclava, and he just like basically looks like he just spray painted, a logo. He took like
A stencil.
a stencil and just spray painted the spider logo.
Yeah.
Like the starter suits are more believable, but you work as a photographer for one of the biggest newspapers in New York City. You're probably not really getting paid a lot. You're still living with your aunt or your best friend, or you were paying too much in a shitty apartment. But like, how are you able to like? I just want to know, how can someone like that, like realistically, me, I could easily afford all that stuff, but like, how do you make the webs to come out? Because I don't see no little holes on the suits, because
That's why there were external web shooters in the shows, because they couldn't do a lot of
They
that.
have spider power, just can't shoot a web.
I know, but like how do you know where the web shoots out to make the hole in your arm? It's kind of okay.
Well-
So back.
See, the thing is, like like Karen was saying, with getting some of that stuff, thrifting it, whatever, that's great. And I'm sure spandex, lycra, a lot of that stuff had been around back in the 70s. But my issue is starting off with that without having a starter suit, like you're saying. The first rip, the first tear in one of the eyes, you rip the sole of the shoe off or something like that. The repairs, the replacement, that shit gets expensive even the first time.
You're just like
fingertips. Like all my suits, they start getting threadbare in the fingertips, and I try to be really careful. So,
especially like if you're like doing a pose or something, because the ground itself is. Because you both have worn spider suits, if I'm not mistaken.
Tons of them. Yeah, she has. Yeah, she has too. Yep.
But like, yeah, looking at it from like that kind of perspective, like especially when we go into Tobey Maguire's suit, like Tobey Maguire's suit. I imagine he just has one suit, and look how that thing got torn up. During the when the house is on fire, the Green Goblin's throwing his Green Goblin shuriken looking things, and he just like he does the jump thing. He gets here and here. Like, how do you have the time to like do? Okay,
And then the urethane webbing and all that.
and
Yeah,
it looks flawless. Looking at the suit, it's like, wait, where's the C? I mean, I know movie magic, plot armor,
yeah.
but like realistically, also imagine being the person at the store, someone going to buy this stuff. It's like, what you buying this stuff for? Hmm.
Well, getting okay. So from today's perspective, with like Joann's, Michaels, Amazon, whatever. One of the if there wasn't already a Spider-Man, like you got to take it into where like he is the only one in that world.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, that kind of stuff wasn't necessarily there. There were a lot of costume shops. When I talk about costume shops, you're talking about theater and stuff like that, and they're all cheaply made, whatever. So the series never really touched on doing that, which I think they were just trying to push Spider-Man out because of the popularity.
I mean, it
And
makes sense because like 10 years prior, Spider-Man had just come out in the '60s.
yeah, so they're not really too worried about following any of that. And the comics never really explained it too much later anyway. So you have to kind of forgive some of that. But yeah, if you start looking at it, like this thing looks awesome, but it's not very functional. It's not very practical. You rip it once, you're done. And then like you said, where are you going to get it from? How are you going to wash that? Because you don't want. Well, I mean, you can wash it at home and
Oh,
stuff.
I mean, if you look at the Andrew Garfield one, he puts it in the washer and says, "Oh, I'm washing the American flag." Like, but we don't have a flag. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I kind of like how they touch up on how he just uses Aunt May's washer dryer to wash his suit.
Getting caught on something like that. I see. Like that's another thing too. Most of those materials you can't wash like that. I wash mine in the sink by hand.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say because imagine if you wash it in the because it has the
Oh, it'll melt.
zippers and
They'll melt.
it would
Yeah,
like
and they're
shrink. It would
the
like
washer.
not to mention it could easily shrink.
Yeah, they yeah, they're already tight enough as it is.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
For anyone watching this, sorry, we're just. I feel I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's ever been talked about. I'm sure it has on other YouTube channels.
Oh, sure.
But like looking at it realistically, like Karen, how do you go about like maintaining your spider suits?
Well, I haven't really wanted too much to really have to do with that, but if I do, I'm not really sure. I guess do whatever he does with his suit.
Oh, I mean, not
I
to mention,
just recently got one for myself because he bought it for me.
well, man, not to mention, there's also sweating because not everyone. Because let's face it, he is full on naked under that suit.
Oh yeah,
Probably.
I have a.
I mean, I'm
A
sure he's like
drawing
probably
one
like
to
wearing like
mine.
underwear or something. But like if you've seen, especially the Sam Raimi ones, you see like he has like his skin's showing.
Yeah, well, that was one thing. I'm trying to think of a couple episodes where you can see the stunt padding. It's minimal, but you can see the guy.
Oh yeah, I mean, because if you're gonna fall and hurt yourself, you're gonna need that extra cushion.
But overall, if it comes down to it, for both of those series, they, for what they were attempting to do with the budget constraints and the intention, I'd say they nailed it. The Japanese one probably more so for the look of the suit, but it went like all kinds of crazy left field with the lore and all that. Because who cares? It was just the iconic character,
Mhm.
and I just remember being enthralled with the series as a kid.
Well, I mean, who wouldn't? Your
Yeah.
favorite comic, that's like one of the early. I think it came out before the.
I want to say just a couple years prior. Yeah, and
Did it come? Yeah, because what? Spider-Man was the first live action. Because I think the Hulk was after or during.
if not, they were like parallel. But I remember watching the Hulk too, and that lasted a lot longer. But nailing the looks, the feel, all that kind of stuff at the time. Now, like I said, a lot of it doesn't hold up, but you also got to not look at it totally nostalgically. And you can't look at it from today's perspective. It does have to be encapsulated in the time that it came out and what it was intending to do.
Right.
And I would say, even with the tea strainer eyes, because like I said, that's what it looks like. It looks like those big dope tea strainers, like the big
Yeah,
ones.
like little mirrors on his eyes
Yeah,
in one of the pictures.
I mean, it was the 70s, and I'm sure the costume department was, had a limited budget, especially for something,
Oh yeah, because nobody
turning.
cared. It was just to turn out interest for
They
the comic.
tried with what they had.
Well, yeah, I
And then
mean,
reverse.
and I'm sure they had multiple suits because a show like that, you're going to need multiple suits, just like with, Adam West's Batman suit and
And I will
Robin's.
say they hid the zippers fairly well. The belt was a little weird, but whatever. And
Bunch of squares.
you didn't see the seam on the neck. So like I said, they did the hidden zipper in the back really well.
Mhm.
So, with what, once again, with what they were attempting, with what they had to work with, and what we got, you can't really complain. It's what it is. Is it the best? No. Is it the worst? Probably not. The same thing with the Japanese one. I always like the eyes. That suit looked really good. In the show, they do show him actually zipping it up and pulling everything on. It's like crash zooming, where the suit
Mhm.
goes on him, and then they show the zippers and stuff because it's like the guy's got to be able to get into it. It's not just magically appearing on him, which would have made more sense with his origin, but whatever.
Mhm.
And I think that one did a good job too, hiding zippers, looking legit. It was just kind of crazy. They did. I want to say early on he did have big ass red boots though. Did that picture show those boots, Karen, when you looked it up?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I remember it showed his shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you
he
want
did
to,
have boots,
yeah,
like
'cause I was like
Superman.
looking at pictures. While Karen's doing that, out of 5 Spider-Man masks, how would you rate the American Spider-Man suit? Like out of five Spider-Man masks.
Oh, well, I'd probably have to give it a 3 because of the eyes.
Oh yeah, those weird,
Yeah, that eyes
like
just.
the weird like swimwear goggle looking
Yep,
eyes.
I mean, realistically, but once again, it was not about that. But if I had to go back and really look at it then and now, yeah, those eyes just don't. They don't work.
I mean, the suit looked good,
Yep.
but
But the
again,
mask,
I can't imagine trying to find a stunt performer who has almost the same build and
but they could have even painted them
height.
white, Wayne.
Huh?
They said they could have painted the eyes white. They
I
were.
mean,
They were.
in the Japanese versions, they were just like cloth over.
Yep. Yeah, it's probably buckram that you can see through. So yeah, but see the Japanese one, you're creeping up on 8 or 9 because that looked great. The webbing's off, but who cares?
Well, I mean, it's out of 5, like out of 5 Spider-Man masks. What would you rate the Japanese one?
The Japanese one probably like at least a 4 because the webbing's off, but the eyes, everything else is all proportionate. It looks good, and I don't think they were wearing face shells either.
And
It
no,
doesn't
yeah,
look like they're wearing face shells.
no, it does, yeah, I looked at it. It just looked like they, because that wasn't introduced until Raimi's and Garfield, and oh yeah, you can kind of.
Yeah, it was a big red boots.
I'll show.
Yeah,
show-
very wrinkly boot.
But it's okay.
Oh yeah, wow.
Probably
Those
leather.
are those leather boots?
They
They're
look like
vinyl.
or vinyl because they're very wrinkly.
Oh yeah. Well, those are boots. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Jeez, I can imagine having to. Now, did the actual actor Peter Parker, did he ever wear the suit, or was that just a stuntman?
The original series, a lot of the unmasking, or you see him wearing the suit without the hood on. Yeah, but I don't think he ever did any of the stunt stuff.
Kind of like what they did. Well, with Power Rangers, they just used scenes from Super
Yeah.
Sentai.
Yeah, it's the same kind of deal. Yeah, but the Japanese one, if we're gonna go out of 5, I give it a 4. The webbing's just the only thing that's off on that. I mean, because you're talking from here up. But
Mhm.
the American one, unfortunately, the webbing's off. If you look, there's it's off here in the bridge of the nose because of no face shell to keep that shape, so it shifts.
Well,
and then
yeah,
it
and I don't think face shells were really a thing in the 70s.
if they were, they're going to be fiberglass and be heavy as hell.
Kind of like a hockey mask in a sense.
Yeah, probably that might have been something that would have to be done.
I see what you're talking
But
about.
like,
Yeah, see how the brows off and the eyes.
oh yeah, because like the other Spider-Man suits, you could tell it's a face shell. That one's like, yeah, that's just an actor just.
So yeah, I'd probably go, yeah, like I said, I give it a 2 or 3 ish, 2.5, and then at least a 4 or 4.5 for the other one. I don't want to give it a solid in either way because there's plus and minuses, but the Japanese one wins out just because it looks so cool.
Oh yeah, and now on to, I think this is something more Karen's familiar with, just that was how I was, it's,
Yeah.
one of my favorites. It's the Sam Raimi suit. I know a lot of people really, really like that suit.
Yes, they do.
I like the black
What's
suit
it?
too.
Oh,
Well,
his symbiote suit.
Yes.
well, okay. So
I,
Karen, on this one, do you like that one? The Raimi suit, the first one that he got.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I also like how
Why?
the lines are more pronounced. They're like kind of like that weird jelly stuff that people use
It's
on like
Oh,
urethane rubber is what they
yeah,
like
do.
like
yeah,
puff paint.
yeah.
No, it's actually laid out
But it's laid
urethane
out.
rubber webbing.
Oh yeah. Okay, I
Yeah,
remember. I think I
Yeah.
seen like
it's
up
just
Attached
behind
rubber.
the.
frozen fabric. But
I
some
see.
cosplayers use that gel stuff to do it. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
like
was
that.
just saying. I've seen cosplayers like will indolently use like that paint stuff to
Yep.
because not everyone has the time to make a full on accurate Raimi suit. Because I mean, that took time, and that suit had multiple different versions. The
Oh yeah.
damaged, and then like where like the face, like the mask was like half destroyed, and you could see Peter's
Oh yeah, with the
face.
Green Goblin. Oh, I
On
love that.
top of having to sew him into it, because as soon as he moved, the first time it ripped right in half from the back and everything, because they wanted to accomplish that skin tight feel. Oh yeah.
But then you
There's
can't move it if it's skin tight.
yeah.
And I honestly think that it's cool though that they literally had Tobey Maguire, like he took off the mask, but then the final scene when he's fighting Green Goblin in that abandoned building, like that is Tobey Maguire's face. Hair's all messed up,
Oh
face is
yeah.
all bruised, bloodied. Half the eyepiece is missing because they just were doing like they just were falling and like I mean, Green
I
Goblin
do
was
love
easily
her damage
protected.
that stupid.
Green Goblin had, I think, Green Goblin, his suit basically took half the impact, but Spider-Man's Peter's suit, like it just looks beaten to hell.
Oh, for sure. Which is a thing in the comics, and it's always like up to here,
Hmm
and it breaks. It always rips down or one side, like an eye will come
hmm
off, and that's it. That's to hide his
hmm
identity. It's been a trope in the comics forever.
But
Or
like
like
in this one,
part here and
you
hair
can
come
see
out.
his it's like almost his whole mask is like almost ripped
Yeah,
off.
but if you notice how there was still the line across here and
Uh huh.
stuff, yeah. So you like it because it has the pronounced webbing and all that,
Well, it's
Karen?
one of the cooler features. Yes, it's not the only reason I like it.
And it's also
Okay.
got doesn't his suit also have the soles on the bottom?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
I just
So
think aesthetically it looks good.
okay. See, I have a lot of issues with the Raimi suit. Being a Spider fan, first of all, Wayne, like what you're touching on, how the hell did he make it? He didn't.
Well, I mean,
That
like we saw the scene where he was like, I mean, yeah, that was a different artist, of course. That was like I think like an actual like Marvel
yeah, I want to say it was
comic book
Romita.
artist.
Yeah, I want to say it was Romita that had done it.
Oh wait, who?
John Romita. His
What did he
dad
done?
helped after Kirby and all that stuff. John Romita was drawing it, and he's the one that designed the 8 webs up the head and the
Oh,
spacing.
so during that scene where it shows like it's showing Peter like looking at it, that's John actually drawing the
I
like
believe so.
different suit
I would
looks.
say it was all John Romita Jr. doing that. Yeah,
I mean, I love that scene. It's like, okay, which one is he
yeah.
gonna? And then he's like, boom, iconic red blue.
Now,
I just love the suit so much.
okay, so the homemade suit.
The black one.
Oh God.
Oh,
We'll be talking about that
I
and
like that.
and the original concept they were going to have for the symbiote, which I wish they would have gone with, but all that leather,
That's
I think all that leather would have just been uncomfortable, and I doubt moving in that thing would have been easy.
well, having worn leather suits. Yeah, it's not very comfortable.
It's not forgiving at all.
I mean,
Oh,
you both are familiar with like wearing leather or like
Yes,
if
Green
you're
Arrow. I'm dying.
the Green Arrow suit, or like if you're wearing your Commander Shepard or your
Batman was the
Stormtrooper
worst,
or
but it looks
Batman, like
awesome.
it looks good on
Things are
paper, but then
different
like,
today.
hey, it looks good on paper. I mean, look at the behind the scenes of like with Raimi and everything, and how they were like putting like, because I've never seen pictures of like they had like the the symbiote suit logo. Like, okay, which one should we have? But then like realistically, the stunt actor would have like had a heat stroke in that thing. Who knows what the inside was like?
Yeah, some of them aren't very forgiving at all on the leather because you can't really move your arms or you're constantly creaking and stretching and
It's
stuff.
like that's why I feel bad for like actors like Michael Keaton and his stunt actor, and same with
And see, that was all your thing. That was that was terrible.
Same with Kilmer and Clooney and their stunt guys. That was, I don't know what it was with that era of like, hey, from the 90s to the early 2000s, like leather. Let's just have all of our comic book characters be in fucking leather.
Well, you have the
Catwoman.
leather trilogy or the trench coat trilogy to thank for that. The Matrix, the Crow, that kind of stuff. Where they had all that
I get it was a thing for the 90s and the early 2000s. I get that, but I'm glad, but that's where that should stay. It's the early 2000s, late 90s and early 2000s.
Well, with the Raimi stuff though, for going into that, so his homemade wrestling suit, cool, fine, no problems with that whatsoever. That's perfect. That's exactly
that's easily believable. It's just a balaclava, like construction gloves,
and a hoodie,
blue
sweats,
blue track pants or blue sweats or track pants,
totally
red
cool.
shoes, and then
no
a sweater like you can easily, like Karen said, stencil, human spider.
Have no complaints about that suit whatsoever. That one is for a starter suit almost perfect. It's when you get into his final one with no explanation, like you had said, where the hell did he get this stuff? How did he put it together? That's where that odd.
Next thing you just see him swinging, and it's like bam, like how?
Yeah. So we had talked about it on the episode, the review.
When we did the first Spider-Man movie with Alex and
I think it was AJ, wasn't it?
Yeah, AJ Alex they go by. But he was on it, and I can't remember.
Brian.
Sorry, Brian. Yeah, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were all talking about it. Yeah, because again, AJ, also known as Alex, he was talking about because like I said, Alex is also a costume maker, and again, how, where, like trash can, thrift stores. Where do you get this? What material did you use for the eyes?
Those were gargoyle lenses made by Oakley. They were like $500 a pop.
Wait, what are?
The eye lenses were gargoyles. They're made specifically. They're gargoyles by Oakley. Yeah, that's what those lenses were.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep. Made specifically for the production, but
$500 for both lenses, or just one?
Yeah, I believe it was for the set.
Oh wow! I mean, I've seen cosplayers where you can buy the magnetic lenses to put on your map to put.
Yeah, that's what mine have. I have the ones that pop in.
I love the magnetic lenses, but God, I wish the eye holes on the mask were a little bit bigger.
Who are you telling? My vision is like that. It's terrible.
Like that scene from Django Unchained. I can't see fucking shit.
No, yeah, you can't. The problem, though, is it we talked about it on the episode, but the problem is the look of the suit is really I'll talk about that in a second. You go from that homemade suit, which fits poor kid that has limited means, living
with his aunt, lives with his aunt and his uncle, and is still in high school.
Mm-hmm. So he could have got stuff out of the lost and found at school. He could have got it out of his closet, whatever. That starter suit's great. Totally fits that grounded feel that Sam was going for, and that the writers and all that. Totally awesome. Set that aside. Then he realizes, hey, I'm going to do something with this, and he makes this suit. The missed opportunity there was to have that Oscorp connection, and he could have gotten some new space age material, something like that, from Harry or from Norman, and incorporated it into a suit because the friction, this and that, the stretchiness, what have you. They didn't do that. It's just instantly he's got like an $8,000 fucking suit.
I mean, I can see why they don't explain in the movie, because who wants to see how he made the suit?
Well,
personally,
they did it with the bio webbing and stuff in Amazing, which I really like.
Oh yeah. Garfield's it shows. I like how they showed how he was especially when he was making his webs in his room, he's his web shooter thing. He was just doing this thing, because the whole webs just explode and everything. Yeah. They kind of go into detail with that one.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about have some kind of a connection while they're talking about genetically engineering these spiders. They were also developing, or even with the glider, they were developing the suit to wear on the glider. that could withstand friction and have the goggles and all that kind of stuff. It was a prototype Goblin suit that he took off with or something. I don't care. That would have been awesome. But you didn't do that. And then he's just instantly, like I said, an $8,000 freaking suit. And then, yeah, the urethane alone is probably a couple grand. That's for that much. No.
And how does he repair this? How does he repair the suit, especially during the scene?
He doesn't.
During the house fire scene when he gets like he gets hit here, he gets hit in the arm with the Green Goblin shuriken looking things.
You
like,
don't. You can't repair that, by the way.
And he even
I doubt he has I doubt he has a second suit somewhere.
Yeah.
And don't get me started. Don't get me started on the sequel. On like, how did you repair your suit? Like, I mean, at the end of the movie, it shows them, swinging the webs and everything. How, and again, we were allowed to cuss on here because this is kicking out. How the fuck were you able to repair your mask after getting the living shit beat out of you and falling through that old abandoned brick building during your fight with the Green Goblin?
That part says suspension of disbelief. It just would have been nice to have had a connection either with Oscorp or even mention the Fan 4 or something like that. I know rights and all that kind of stuff, you know what it is. But have your guy set that up. Because like I said, the harsh reality, those suits are expensive. They are crazy expensive.
Oh no, especially in like reality, like a full on like screen accurate looking spider suit from like Sam Raimi's area is going to cost you a pretty penny.
They are. Was that a cat? No,
I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, like I've seen like just a mask alone. Because I was looking at on Etsy, I was looking at a animated series Spider-Man mask that looks like a cross between the animated series and the comic. That thing alone, the mask itself, is like almost $200.
Yep.
Website.
But it also becomes with a face shell, and you can also change out. You can pick your different lenses too because they're magnetic.
Yeah, and that's in today's market, with that stuff being fairly readily available. My PS4 suit with the face shell, custom made to me, shoes and stuff on it was $500, and that doesn't have raised webbing or vinyl or anything like that. But that fits just me. It's tailored specifically to me. That's why a lot of my pictures I don't have wrinkles.
Oh yeah, I just imagine the scene. Spider-Man and Peter Parker just in his underwear or something, like measuring himself. Like it's like okay, this long. And he has to measure himself, mind you.
Yeah.
And he has to like weigh himself to make sure the suit fits like skin tight. I mean, I know again, it was a stunt person, so imagine trying to find someone who's that height and build of like a 20-something-year-old Tobey Maguire.
So I have issues with it as a look from the comics, but as a movie look, it's fine. I don't like the raised webbing. I've never liked that ever. I don't know what it is, but they got the eyes, even though they're not white. That's okay. The feel's there. It accomplishes what it does. I love both movies, so I'm not taking anything with both movies because there's only two in my opinion. On that Sam Raimi movies, but bullshit. That kid did not buy that. If he was desperate to get the the $100 or whatever it was from the wrestling match, he did not go out and spend that much.
Oh yeah, it was like $300.
Yeah,
but he only got like he only got 200.
Yeah, because that was
and like, what are you gonna do with like $200? Like, yeah, you could buy a shit ton of food for like a good like almost a year.
Yeah, well, some of my Star Wars costumes, the boots alone are like $170.
$170 for just the boots? Damn.
My Biker Scout boots started at about $170. Yeah, for screen.
Oh yeah. By the way, congratulations on making the 501st.
Oh, thank you. I'm working on a second costume. It'll be a Biker Scout.
For anyone wondering, for the longest time, Brian's been trying to be part of the 501st Legion, and just recently he became part of the 501st. Yep. Who knew it took meeting the writer of some Star Wars books to make that happen?
Oh yeah, I put it off, and then after meeting Mr. Zahn, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna do it. The hell with it. It was awesome. But yeah, so those materials that he used in that, the self-measuring, this and that, like I said, never mind the raised webbing, whatever. It's just a stylistic choice. No. But it looks awesome. I'm not going to take anything away from it. Oh,
no. And again, I remember seeing behind the scenes on the original 2-disc thing. I think in the special features on the special disc behind the scenes, they showed like the different suits, like the one suit, the damaged suit, and then the really damaged suit.
Yeah, and they go over it, getting him in it, and as soon as he moved, ripping underneath the arms, on the waist, because they tried to keep that really skin tight. So not to talk about another superhero, but one of the things that I really appreciated in the comic and in the movie of Kick-Ass was that when he went to go looking for his suits, he started with a wetsuit that was readily available.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
Yeah.
And
All
he
right.
modified it.
Yep. Totally believable.
And then he was on his bed sewing it and stuff. Yeah, that's one of the things I loved about the movie.
And I would have been
with all their costumes.
totally cool with that kind of stuff as a tie-in if you were going to go with the Oscorp connection or something like that. Because a wetsuit, you beat it up, you can go get another one. I've got one in my closet. You know, it's not that big a deal. So
and then you got,
yeah. But it's still, they were going for the movie look. There's that big suspension of disbelief. But dude, we're talking about somebody who can just run up a wall. Never mind all the cool stuff with the spider hairs.
Oh yeah, the spider.
That's right.
Yeah,
like so I gotta like when he's wearing the suit, do the little spider hand things go through the suit?
Yeah, they're supposed to go through the suit, but that's another thing too. My suit would just shred. Like if I had hairs and shit with like little spines coming out of my hands, it would shred. So no, it would not happen. And then oh, that feels better. You got little things like that, but like we're talking about the looks of them, totally awesome. Is it comic accurate? No. Is it comic accurate? Not at all. Is it awesome looking? Yes. And like I said,
yeah, fuck yeah, it is.
And it's become iconic.
Oh yeah, I mean, when it comes to comic book characters, superheroes, whatever, the most believable one about having their suit and have the money is fucking Bruce Wayne. Like he's where's his spot? Like
Tony, you're forgetting Tony.
Oh yeah, Tony. Well, yeah, Tony Stark. Well, he built his in a cave with a box of scraps.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, he's Tony Stark. Exactly.
Also you rarely see it in a lot of movies. Like Iron Man, you see him making not only his original his starter suit, but then when he's actually making like the actual Iron Man suit, and it's like, oh wait,
flying around.
Oh yeah, and then he's like, oh wait, I can't go up this high. Or let's add some heat resistant things to not get frozen in space.
With that Raimi Spider-Man suit, there could have been a logical reason why he had to raise webbing or something like that. You could have done more of that if it was since they were going for a true origin of the suit for the character. I would have liked to see more.
Probably like aerodynamics, wind resistant. I don't know.
Sure, but I just or just bouncing this off the walls or something. But I just had a real issue with going from struggling to like pay for bus fare kind of stuff, like finding a quarter in the street and woohoo, look at me.
Again, he's also a high school senior, like, and like he doesn't get the job for the Daily Bugle until after he makes like the suit.
Yeah,
and then again, you're still getting paid shit money.
Also, another unrealistic thing: if a real life spider suit, that stuff is slick and slippery. So if he's climbing on glass, is he really gonna stick?
Oh yeah, the spandex morph looking.
I slip on the tile floor in my spider suit. So like, if he's climbing on glass.
I just like. Again, I've never worn a full-on spider suit or anything, so like I really.
Oh, sorry guys.
Oh no, we were just talking about how
this one.
Oh,
all right, is a toy. This is just a toy, and it was $100. It's a plastic toy. All right, so yeah, he didn't make that suit. Bullshit to all that, but that's the thing. I wish they had shown. Oh, I got the wetsuit, and then I was able to do this or that. Just since you went with the full origin, and it would have made a lot more sense. And I think it would have had a bigger impact when you saw that progression up to that final, not just going from wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt to instantly wearing that suit. But I know
it was after the whole Uncle Ben thing.
So did he spend his life insurance on his spider suit? That's never talked about. Is that why he almost lost the house? Peter, you jerk!
Well, in reality, the reason why. Yeah, Aunt May would eventually. Aunt May was able to keep that house.
It's because Peter spent all the money on his freaking spider suit. That's what it was.
I get it. time constraints. I'm sure Sam Raimi wanted to show a scene, not just like, oh, I'm gonna design what my suit. I'm gonna show a scene what I'm gonna design what the suit looks like. Was it also Avi Arad? Wasn't he also part of that?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I mean,
But
same guy behind X-Men, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, behind a lot of them. So, like I said, it's awesome. I mean, I know why you like it, Karen, and some of the reasons why I don't. As a comic adaptation for the movie, dude, come on. That's a 10 out of 5
In everything.
Spider Masks. It's
How
awesome.
many out of a 5 Spider-Man mask? What would you give the Sam Raimi suit?
Go ahead, Karen.
Out of 5 Spider-Man masks, what would you give the Sam Raimi suit?
As a mask, for me, it'd probably be like, maybe a 3.5. Because there's definitely room for improvement
So
on a lot of
three.
it.
So it's like 3.5.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
not
Now-
quite up there. It's not like the best suit it could be, but it's also not like the crappiest suit.
Oh yeah, no, because Cameron and I were just talking about how he'd be slipping all over the place because morph suits are very slippery, from what Cameron was saying.
Yeah,
Um,
they are. Wow, I'm kind of surprised you rated it that low, Karen. But that's okay.
I like the
Now-
suit. I do.
Now to end this one, it's technically the same suit, but a symbiote takes it over. What do you think of the black suit Spider-Man from the third Spider-Man film?
I love that suit.
I have a no daughter.
I like the dark suit.
No.
Better
No.
than Iron Suit. So.
Now I know in that movie it kind of showed the symbiote. Wait, was it? Oh, yeah, he was. Yeah, Peter was laying down in bed, and the symbiote like crawled on.
Yeah.
I wish it would have. I wish it would have showed like the transformation. But next thing you know, it crawls on him. Next thing you know, we see him, just like, wait, where am I? Oh, the new suit. Oh, wow.
I did like how Eddie looked in the suit at the end, where it was like it just showed his face and the rest was the black suit.
I did. I will say I did like the scene when he's getting tired of the symbiote suit. He hits the bell and he's just ripping the thing off.
Yeah. I did like that scene.
Oh, okay. So as much once again, comics here, movie there. Love the Raimi suit as iconic movie suit. It's great. I'd give it a 5 because it did exactly what it's supposed to do and it looked great. Is it the best as far as a comic adaptation? Much like we talked about in the episode, I'm saying now, no. I don't like the raised webbings. I have issues with some of the other stuff, but it did exactly what it's supposed to do, and I loved it. That freaking black one though. Oh, so not to nerd out too much, but that original black suit nobody really liked after he came back from the Secret Wars. That's why it all of a sudden became the symbiote and it was a living suit. That was one of the problems with the black one. It didn't look alive. It should have looked like his skin, like either crawling or the webs could have shifted or something, or the eyes could have closed because it was not a suit. It was a goddamn animal all over him. It was like he was dunked in tar or something like that. I don't know how.
Oh yeah, I mean that's why they did like the test footage. That's why Sam Raimi and them did the test footage of the symbiote suit, how it was all leather, how it looked literally like pulled straight out of the comics.
But you don't even have to go that route, Wayne. You could have. They leaned on CGI so much in some other scenes. Just occasionally have like the webs move or something like that, or his eyes blink, or the mask come down on him a little bit more, and not quite the way they did with Eddie and stuff. Just make it look a little bit more alive. That was the only real issue I had with that, on top of just the whole movie itself.
I mean, I can't imagine what the budget. I can't imagine what the budget was like for that movie. It's like, you know what? We're not going to do the symbiote-looking suit. We're just going to take the regular suit, but have the suit black and all the webbing white.
Yeah, and it doesn't.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I know it's supposed to be a mimic and all that stuff, but it should have been more alive. And then the webbing.
It just looks like you just dunked the suit in like black tie-dye stuff and then painted the webs white.
Nope, don't like it. The other issue with that particular suit was without the change in the webbing. So when he shoots the webbing, when he was in the black suit, all right, he doesn't wear the web shooters anymore. I don't know if you know that or not. So in the comics, when Venom took him over, and I know they went with the bioweb shooters, but he doesn't wear the wrist shooters anymore because it's actually Venom shooting himself out.
Oh yeah, it's symbiote stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So once again, an opportunity to make it look more alive, things like that. And I know CGI was still not the greatest at the time, but they were relying on it. I don't like it.
In the movie, was the web I forget, in the third film when he was in the symbiote suit, was the web black?
I don't remember it being black, but I
don't remember it being black either.
Anyway, I've only watched that one all the way through intentionally once.
I've seen that movie like 3 times, but I know that movie. I know that movie definitely had a big budget because you have like 3 different villains, like too many plot points going on. Because we haven't reviewed the second or third films yet. But I guarantee if we ever review the third film, it's just gonna be like how you, me, Bob, and Myron tore through the third one.
Yeah. Oh.
Of the X-Men film. Oh God.
Yeah.
That's another. I don't want to.
Problem. Yeah, it's unfortunate because it shouldn't have been like that, but it was. So whatever.
But again, you have Avi Arad who wanted to market a bunch of comic book movies.
I never liked that black suit. I still don't like it. I don't own one. Out of all the spider suits I own, that's the only one that I don't own.
I don't really see a whole lot of symbiote spider suit cosplay as well.
Really.
Nope. I see Venom. I see Venom here and there.
Yeah, but
no,
that's a 0. Before you even ask, that's a 0 out of 5 for me on that one.
It's 0. Speaking while we're on that topic, what did you think of the Venom suit when it took over Eddie Brock?
Okay, it's still all the same. With the exception that it looked alive going on him, but then all of a sudden he's right back into a suit, and it didn't look alive.
Yeah.
See, that's what I mean. They used that his face and all that shit when it was coming around him, and they did it in the neck and his teeth and all that.
Yeah, and after that,
they never made the suit look alive past that. So from the collar up.
That scene where it was like doing this thing, and you see Eddie's sharp teeth and like. Yeah. But then when it came back.
But the actual suit never looked alive. Like,
and then don't forget the scene they took where when he blew up and you see Eddie Brock's skull mixed with like the symbiote, how it has teeth and everything when he blew up.
Yeah, see, if they're gonna push that, the suit should have reflected it. It didn't. End the story. It sucks. It just sucks. It sucks.
That's fair. I mean, now does and in the comics when you're the symbiote's part of you, it does basically change your personality like it did with Peter's. How
it's because it's constantly talking in your head. It goes into the it's a parasite. Yeah. Oh, Wayne froze up.
Oh, Wayne's fired.
Yep.
Look at that! Look how he froze though.
Yeah.
Like he's in stuff.
Think you lost him.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, I want to get a Superman suit next.
I don't know if you ever noticed this one though, Karen. It separates.
Ooh.
And actually it separates in a couple different parts. It's like back there and up here to be able to put on.
Very nice. And it fits your head?
Well, it fits me just fine. Doesn't fit your brother.
I imagine it wouldn't.
No.
I don't know if they have 4X in head size, but that's him. Does it light up or anything?
Yeah, the eyes do.
Oh, sweet.
I don't have batteries in it, but yeah, it all lights up.
seen a couple of those on Amazon or and stuff. All the Spider-Man cosplayers I follow have the movie mask.
Don't know. He said his computer was acting stupid. Then he was using his phone, and apparently his phone's acting stupid too because he lost it.
Wayne just has not been having luck with his stuff lately. Like the last time we
Damn it, I lost another.
Oh, is he back? Possibly. This is loading.
All right, sorry about that, everyone. I'm back.
Yeah,
It's
he's
my
back.
My phone decided to do a reset thing.
Oh,
My phone's
convenient.
old. My phone's old, mind you. Sorry about
Oh.
that, everyone. Technical difficulties. We took. We were talking too bad about the suit that my phone was like, "Excuse me."
Right? Who you bad mouthing?
But yeah, no. Talking about it. So I'm not too familiar with the other suits, so I really can't like give my opinions on them. But Sam Raimi suit, I would give that a after talking about it, I would give the original Sam Raimi suit a 4 out of 5 Spider-Man masks. The symbiote suit, I would give that a I'd give that like a 3. It was cool, like watching it as a kid because that movie came out in like what 03?
Somewhere around there.
Because
Yeah,
they were because each one was like literally being released one after the other.
yeah, they're quick.
Yeah, they were.
Well, I
quick.
mean,
think it was
again,
like a
you
year
know,
apart.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because the first one came out in like 01, because X-Men had come out
2000.
before that.
Yeah.
And Marvel was just pumping them out.
Yep. Thanks to
Nowadays,
Blade.
oh yeah, Blade kind of.
Well, no, that's what started it all for showing an adult
Was it
comic movie, and that's what got
Blade
that
started? Blade was what 97?
98, I believe. Somewhere in
Because I know
there.
the next. But yeah, the symbiote suit I give a 3 out of 5 because it looked cool, mainly because you know a 10-year-old me, you know.
Right?
I had seen the other 2 Spider-Mans. I had all Spider-Man movies on DVD.
Sure.
Seeing Bryce Dallas Howard as Gwen Stacy was something different.
Oh,
That they did nothing with.
Oh yeah,
Right? What a shame.
Oh yeah, that's you know that's Eddie Brock's girlfriend. Let's do it. Oh no, never mind.
Yeah.
I think she had what the scene where she's falling, about to fall, the scene where she kisses Peter, and then the scene where he's dancing with her in that club, and that's it.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't very many scenes at all.
But again, what do you expect for a movie to have Sandman's plot, the symbiote plot, the Eddie Brock plot?
It's too much. Yeah.
Harry Osborn's plot, the love triangle plot.
I wish they did Sandman one different.
So many. I mean, the sequel is good with the plots. You had Spider-Man, you know, losing his power, and you had Doc Ock. That was fine.
Perfect.
First one, you had Peter becoming Spider-Man. You had Green Goblin. Okay.
Perfect.
Third one, you have like 6 different fucking plots. Like pick a plot. Like if you would have done the symbiote and Eddie Brock. Okay, have you done the symbiote, Eddie Brock, and maybe Sandman? I mean Flint Marko, which I still think the actor they played Flint Marko was a really good choice.
Oh, Hayden, yeah.
Yeah, he did a really. I mean, mind you, he had just come off from like, you know, a few years. Dude came off like, you know, he played a villain in Tarzan as Lyle Vandergroot.
If you ever get a chance, there's a movie called The Specials with him in it. It's a superhero movie. It's hilarious. It's great.
That's a superhero movie?
Yeah. It's a silly one, but yeah, watch that if you ever get a chance.
Okay, so real quick, before we end this, because we're going to do part two with
Sure.
Garfield, Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland's one, and then briefly talk about it because Amazon did release a trailer a while back with Spider-Man Noir. But if you can see any spider suit, starting with you, Karen, if you can see any spider suit, whether it be female or male, what suit would you want to see brought to live action?
Ooh. Um, trying to think of suits in my mind.
Nothing comes to the top of your head?
I'm really trying to think.
All right. Well, while you're thinking,
Oh, okay, come back to me. Yeah.
Brian, what spider, whether it's a female character or male character, what suit would you like to see brought to live action if done properly? And
The
also,
PS4 Advance.
huh?
The PS4 Advance suit. Yeah, the
I can,
Insomniac.
I
That's
can
it.
see it. I can honestly see it fit if they ever reboot. If they ever
Yep.
reboot the
Now, I know
Spider Verse,
technically we got to see it in, across the Spider Verse, but live
well, that
action, I
would
got to see it. Yeah.
me personally, because I don't think it gets enough attention. Um, Gwen Stacy's the Gwen Stacy suit.
Oh yeah, yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, if done well, sure.
And I mean, I know, yes, we had Bryce Dallas Howard play as Gwen Stacy, and yes, she kind of had the color, the pink and black, but like, yeah, I don't know who you can find because you have so many. You have so many, and honestly, I'm going to say this: no disrespect against the actors, but seeing the live action spider suits from Madam Web just didn't look that great.
That movie had potential.
It did,
Had and
but
squandered it all.
when
Even the
Sony,
actress was like, didn't work
I
out.
mean, Cindy Sweeney, I like. I mean, don't get me wrong. The brief when we saw their live action suits, I thought they looked pretty cool. But like, I want to see Gwen Stacy suit. Find the right actress, whether it's
Yeah.
Well, you got
it
so many
could.
versions to pick from. The suit stays pretty much the same, but young, older, blonde, brunette, all the white hair, whitish hair, what's
I
like
know, I
Felicia.
know, I know. It was when Disney was pumping out Marvel animated stuff. I know she also went by Ghost Spider.
I think that was a complete. I think that's one of those multiverse things, but who cares? I'd love to see it. I'm with you on that one too. But I still, my PS4 Advance suits
Oh
top.
yeah, no. I mean, we see Gwen Stacy in like the games, like when they did the Lego game. We
Yeah,
see her
Yeah.
in. We saw her like in some animated stuff, the video games. So like, okay, Marvel, you're pumping out all these other Marvel stuff, which but again, it's Sony. So I mean,
yeah.
if Disney had the rights to Spider-Man, I think they could do it. But since Sony owns the rights to the Spider-Man stuff, I don't think we're gonna see.
Not anytime soon.
Not unless, and you think by now, no, I love Sony, but I think at this point they should give the rights back to Disney. Yes, I know some people have mixed feelings, but like we would have some pretty cool characters. Not like, oh, this villain that was always a villain. Well, here's a tragic backstory to make you feel sorry for them.
Yeah,
It worked. It worked with Venom, but not Morbius or Craven. I mean, I heard mixed things about the Craven the Hunter film.
I on principle didn't want to watch it. I started watching the trailer. Like,
And then
nope.
there was that other Spider-Man villain movie that they were supposed to make. The guy was like some kind of like Muay Thai wrestler or something, but I haven't heard or seen anything about that in a while.
I
I
get
wish they'd
tired.
do a Spider-Man and Venom one. That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
No.
Do you think of a suit kid?
Yes, I did, but I don't know what it's called. But it's that blue one that is like glowing, like electricity one.
Oh. That's the one from in the game. What the hell was that?
Yeah, I don't know what that one's called, but that's the one.
Is it the well there
I love that.
which is it the, no not the Web of Shadows one.
Yeah, it doesn't say what it is on here.
Not the one where it's like different dimension Spider-Man.
It just says blue and black. So that's obvious.
Karen, back to you. What suit would you like to see in live action, whether it be a male character or female character?
That blue suit, I would love.
But the thing is that does that suit light up?
On the suit, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, all the webbing
Oh.
glows, the eyes glow.
yeah.
Yeah.
You may have to enhance that with CGI. But yes, I would like to see a Gwen
That'd be
Stacy
cool.
suit. But again, you have to
Something different.
finding a stunt person for Gwen Stacy suit. That's easily, but you need to find someone for Gwen Stacy herself. Whether when you're taking out the mask or you're putting on the mask, what like you said, what version of the young high schooler or adult. Like are you gonna have her wear the blue Converse, or are you gonna have her wear like the blue flats?
So that's why I like the way they did it in Into the Spider-Verse, the way they handled her there. That all worked out perfectly. You kind of had a mix of everything there, and that suit was still there.
Or I've seen some people.
They did a good job.
I've seen some cosplayers wear like blue ballet slippers
Yeah, it all
because
works.
yeah. Well, that's it for part one. This will be up this because I need to grab the pictures and some stuff and then edit. We're at an hour into this one because yeah, I may do like a deep cut one maybe later down the road. Anyway, as we always do, time to drop those links below. I need to go back to adding the links into the description. It's just time consuming sometimes. But
Sure.
Karen, where can people find you on social medias if they want to stay up to date with your cosplays and all the other fun jazz?
Okay, well, now that it's spelled correctly.
Oh no, it's not Red Rouge.
Yes. Oh god, that irritated me. It's fixed now. So
Red
it's
Rogue.
yes, it's red underscore rogue underscore assassin, and that's for Facebook and Instagram.
Nice. And Brian, where can people find you on social media to stay up to date with your cosplays and the beginning of your 501st journey?
Well, if I get around to posting all that stuff, which I'm the worst documentarian possible. If I don't have,
I've seen the videos you sent through the group chat, and
They're
honestly,
great.
really well done. I can't wait to see more for
yeah,
your next Stormtrooper suit.
I get ahead of myself. Like I've got my entire biker scout pretty much done. I did.
You got the scout troop from Return.
Return of the Jedi. Yeah, I'm doing Return of the Jedi scout trooper.
Oh,
Yeah, I got almost
nice.
everything in. I just need to get the boots. That's why I was talking about those really expensive boots. So
And
he's
the
my
scout trooper is a lot different than your classic Stormtrooper.
Oh yeah. I'm doing the TV. So this is the Black Series helmet.
Oh, wow!
Him.
But that's like the Black Series you can like buy online for like a good.
So mine I'm printing. In fact, I got that printed right now. So all the armor except for this part, and
You're basically using the Black Series helmet for reference.
the movies actually, because this doesn't have return edge and there's a bunch of inaccuracies, but it's a cool helmet and I like it.
Yeah, it's if I've learned anything, the Black Series, as in most people like to wear them, they're more for display.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And the thing, as opposed to the TK, I want to be able to sit down. So
That's a good quality to have in a suit.
I have a buddy of mine who has worn a Stormtrooper outfit for a Star Wars fan film, and yeah, he's told me again he makes his suits too.
Yeah.
And he's told me, yeah, it's like you got to be careful how you sit and move because you can either clip something or hurt yourself.
Or yeah. So Biker Scout's the next one, and like I said, I haven't documented shit, and I should have because I've got so much of it done. But whatever.
I've come to realize cosplayers don't always document stuff.
Now some of them do.
You get your mood, and then you're like, oh, a couple hours.
Well, when I had the job
Yeah.
kids and stuff, it was different. Or then my ex-wife would take pictures, and then DJ would has on some of my stuff. But a lot of it, I just do it at odd times, and nobody's there, and I don't have my phone going, or I'm listening to podcasts, and I just lose track.
Oh yeah,
anyway,
like you're like halfway through. Maybe I'm done. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, where can people find you on social media to stay up to date with all that
at
stuff?
Luna Stardust for it should link up to my Nightingale Studios page, and then also that's the handle on Instagram, which I need to update and post a bunch of stuff. But
especially with all the new stuff you've been doing.
I got my first official troop next weekend, so that'll be fun. It's going to be at the Rogue X for the Spartans boxing, whatever. I guess it's.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'll be doing that.
And maybe someday, because I know sometimes Disney likes to use the 501st Legion for some of their projects. So we may see
They certainly did with the Mandalorian. Yeah, I don't know. What my goal is by the 20th of well, actually, there's a couple different dates, but August 20th, Weird Al is touring again here locally, and he's going to be up in Eugene. So he's got 2 nights up in Salem, in Portland area, and then he's got a night in Eugene. And they asked the 501st to go up on stage with him. So I've got my hat, my bucket in the drawing for it. I'm hoping I can go up there and be on stage with Al.
Oh, that'd
So,
be awesome.
Oh, no, I mean that's like a life's like a dream. And
Yep.
hopefully to see you at World Comic Con Medford Metal Art Comic Con this year, because they do have Chris Bartlett who was C3PO in like some. It's the 26th to the 27th.
Yeah, and on the 26th, I've got a troop on that day too. It's a kid's birthday party that I'm not going to back out on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's an official 501st thing. So like, no, I'll do that because I want to get as many under my belt as possible.
Oh no, definitely build those connections, man.
Yep,
No,
that's what I'm trying to do.
Trust me, for someone who's been doing, who's trying to get into the media press scene for events, I get
Brandon, we're waiting on his suit. I had ordered him the hard parts. We got to get his flight suit, boots, and gloves. He's going to be a TI, one of the Jolly Roger Squadron, the 181st TIE Fighter pilot.
Oh,
No,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
and that's
okay.
that's a lot of black too.
Roger,
Like, he does
Yeah.
make sure he's
But-
cool.
The only reason we had to go that route is because currently just in the living room, I've got like 19 helmets in here. From
Really, that many?
Yeah, just in the
It
living
looked
room.
like a lot, but I didn't know how many.
And there's only one that he can fit, and that's because I had to size it to his big ass head.
And if I'm not mistaken, Brian, you do commissions as well, correct?
Yeah, oh yeah. So
Okay.
with his TIE Fighter pilots, because their buckets are bigger, we went with that because he'd be able to fit. He can't even fit my big TK helmet, so it's like, yeah, we went with something that he can actually fit.
I think that should do it. Again, everyone, stay tuned for part 2 whenever we decide to do that. When it comes to, I've learned that it's best to do these in parts now and not like, oh, let's just go on for 2 hours straight talking about this one character. God,
Well, I think next time, ideally, Sammy be with us too.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. Because and I'm sure she wants.
Because
Because she's worn Spider-Man suits too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just bought her one.
For anyone familiar, Brian and his family are pretty much. Brian's pretty much a co-host on here. I just let him ask questions now. He's been on here since 20. You've been on here since 2022, I believe.
If not into 21.
I think, yeah, late 21. Yeah, you've been here since
something like that. Yeah.
Since back then. Anyway, you all know where you can find me. Still no gaming content for a while because I have to get a new USB port thing and USB adapter thingy mabob because this one my SanDisk is finally kaput. So it's geeking out, full geeking out content, full cosplay content, and YouTube Shorts every now and again. Now that I know YouTube Shorts you can put a YouTube short up to 3 minutes, I can record a lot more. I can post a lot more stuff now, knowing that. That still counts as a video. YouTube does say up to 2 to 3 videos a week, so that does count.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. You can do it. With
Yeah.
that.
So eventually, I need to get a new one because, like I said, my SanDisk I've had for years, I think, is finally broken.
Oh
no!
Like it's like the thing that's the light turns on, but like it's so finicky. Like if you move it just wrong, it just stops. It doesn't connect.
Don't trust it. Don't put anything important on it. Just
right.
Well, it was just mainly I was using my capture device for that. Anyway, as always, I'm Wayne the Unknown. Until next time, thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for watching.